Welcome back. Traffic fatalities continue to be a concern, although there has been a decrease in traffic fatalities so far this year compared to the same period last year. Unfortunately, a 56-year-old man lost his life on Saturday shortly after midnight in the 8 Mile Rock area when the driver of a blue Nissan Cube occupied by 3 men traveling on Bayshore Road lost control and collided into a utility pole. Both the driver and the front seat passenger sustained serious injuries, while the rear seat passenger, age 56, was ejected from the vehicle, also suffering serious injuries. Unfortunately, the passenger on the back seat, he passed away while in hospital. This follows the death of a 61-year-old pedestrian who was killed in a hit-and-run accident on the Milo Butler Highway last week here in the capital. Police are still searching for the driver of that hit-and-run incident. Former leader of the Democratic National Alliance and F&M Cabinet Minister Randall McCartney told a local daily that Dr. Hubert M deserves another term in office to complete his agenda, hindered by Hurricane Dorian and the COVID-19 pandemic shutdowns. Well, Prime Minister Philip Davis was asked to respond to those comments by Mr. McCartney. He pointed out that his administration has also faced challenges, but they are not making excuses.
Look at what I've inherited. When I came into office, I inherited a financial crisis, I inherited a health crisis, and of course, I inherited this whole high cost of living crisis. I'm really dealing with all of them. I know they're baffled by all those things, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to get into their business. What I do say is that we all dealt a particular hand. I inherited a country that is at the brink of collapsible infrastructure. A hospital, which is 70 years old, DPL, and its challenges, where the grid is more than 40, 50 years old, and we have to find answers for these things.
Mr. McCartney was seen last weekend on Long Island with former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert M on a supposed book tour. However, political pundits have theorized that Mr. McCartney may be positioning himself to make a return to the F&M. The F&M National Convention is set to take place sometime this year before the end of October, when Dr. M is expected to challenge Michael Pintard for leader of the F&M party. BTC now has less than 30 days to pay an IRCA-issued fine of more than $209,000. It comes after an in-depth investigation into complaints regarding delays in mobile number porting involving BTC and Alive. That goes back in November of 2022. In a statement, IRCA says mobile number portability is a critical service that allows consumers to retain their mobile cell phone numbers when switching from one service provider to another, promoting competition and consumer choice. BTC was found to have breached the established rules by failing to comply with the timelines for responding to porting approval requests. Failure to comply with this order may result in additional penalties for BTC. However, BTC has denied that they have done anything wrong, and they say they will appeal this particular ruling. And finally, the forest fires on Andros that started on April 3rd have now reportedly been fully extinguished. And now the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute, BAMSI, says those fires on North Andros have caused minimal damage to its campus and no animal or buildings were affected. In a statement, BAMSI found that 75% of its mangoes, 40% of its livestock pastures, and 30 beehives were destroyed. The avocado pasture was also destroyed, but the crops were non-bearing at the time of the fire. An additional fire truck and additional manpower was sent to Andros last week to help mitigate those fires. And that'll do it for your JCN April News. Once again, I'm Dorino Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.